Hey everybody, Mike here at MH Tutorials and welcome back. Well guys, for those of you who follow my channel, you know that I've been off the grid for almost a month traveling in the US. So this will be my first tutorial since I got back. And just to make it not too complicated, we're going to start with a subscriber request, and this one is long overdue. And the topic for today is a gumball machine. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. All right. So we're going to start with a polygon cylinder. Start in your polygon menu, grab a cylinder there, drag it out in the grid, something like this. Pull it up a little bit. We're going to hit R. We're going to stretch it out a bit more, like that. In our attribute editor, we're going to go to our polycylinder 1 tab, and we're going to increase the subdivisions to 40. Okay. And if you don't have the attribute editor up, just hit Control A. All right. There we go. And I don't want any caps, so I'm going to set that to 0. All right. Now we're going to kind of create a little cone shape here. So we're going to right click, go to vertex or vertices, drag select the top of vertices like this. We're going to hit R and we're going to pull that in. Not too much. And probably we'll hit W and we'll bring it down just a little because we're going to have the glass ball on top and so forth. Okay. But before we do that, right click face, select this one, go to edit mesh and extrude, hit R and just pull that in slightly, hit G to repeat and W to push down, and let's hit R again and scale it in a little. All right, then we're going to go to mesh tools, insert edge loop tool, option box. Make sure you have single setting, so no multiple setting. All right, and we'll do one up here and we'll do one there. Hit Q on your keyboard, right click on the face, click on the first one and shift double click on the one next to it to get that top row, and do the same here. Shift click and shift double click. There we go. We're going to go to edit mesh and extrude under face. We're going to drag on the thickness just a little, not too much, to get a shape similar to what we have right here. Okay. Now for the tricky part, we need to create a square surface on the front, and we're going to use this little black X on our grid as a guideline. Okay, so we're going to select these 4 faces. That should be enough. All right, and let's do these as well. And we're not going to do the ones down here. All right, we're going to go to edit mesh and extrude. We're going to hit W and we're going to pull that out. Not too far. And we need to level that out because, as you remember, it's kind of at an angle. Okay, so we're going to switch views and we're going to switch to our front view and we're going to hit E and we're going to start to rotate that to a point where I'll hit 4 for wireframe mode so we can see it slightly better, to where it's fairly straight. Okay, which will give us something like this. That's not bad. Okay. All right, now we're going to need to create an opening later on for our gumballs to come out. But before we do that, we're going to add an edge loop. So edit mesh, insert edge loop. Where'd you go? Sorry, mesh tools, insert edge loop. And we'll do one, let's say here, okay? So down here, we're going to have the opening for a gumball, and up here will be our rotation knob area, okay? Now, this may be straight from this angle, but from the top angle, these lines are curved somewhat, okay? So we're going to have to fix that. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, we're going to go to edge, oops, Control Z, hit Q on my keyboard because otherwise I'm repeating pretty much my last action. First, we're going to bring these two out. And we're going to do that from our top view. We're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode. We're going to hit W to move them and just move them out like this so we can see where we're at. And we're going to move them a level to the outer ring. And then I need to go back to this angle again. As you can see, we need to go back. No, we do not. We do not need to go back. So that's fine. Then we'll take these 3 and we'll do the same and try to get them at a straight line as much as possible. Okay, so that's starting to look fairly flat. They need to come out a bit more. And the one in the middle, this one, needs to come back just a little bit. Okay, so that's pretty flat, all right? Then what we'll do is we'll take these 2 corner edges and we'll pull them out as well. And we'll take these 2 guys, pull them out. Let's see how that looks. Not too bad. Okay. Right, so now that we've got that, we're going to need to create a couple of things here. We're going to need to create a knob to turn on, and we're going to need to create an opening. Okay, now the opening is always tricky because that involves the Boolean, and we all hate the Boolean because it's always an issue in Maya, but we'll give it a try anyway. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to do it manually. Okay, so we're going to take a polygon cylinder and we're going to make that somewhat coin-sized, if you will, and we're going to rotate that. Just hit E to rotate it. And let's check the rotation on polycylinder 2. That should be 90 degrees. There we go. And then from our top view, we're going to hit W. We're going to move it up. And we're going to hold V to snap it. Okay. Bring it in there. That's roughly where we want to have our opening. Hit 4 at this angle. That's not bad. Let's check it from this angle. We're going to do that a bit higher because our turning knob is going to be underneath. So let's do this. And let's give it a go. And again, you know, this is Boolean, so it's going to be tricky. We've got this selected. We're going to shift select this guy. Let's do that in object mode. Okay. And we're going to go to mesh Boolean and difference. Okay. That's try number 1. Select this guy, shift select that guy, mesh Boolean difference. Okay. Not bad. We need to clean it up a little. As you can see, we've got some edges. So we're going to right click, go to edge, and we're going to take these 2 and these 2, and we're going to control delete them. Don't just hit delete, hit control delete, otherwise you're going to create n-gons, okay? All right. Not totally bad. Okay. Now for the rotation knob, okay? We're going to take a polygon cube. Let's drag that out, pull it up, hit E, rotate it, make sure we're at 90, and let's start to move this into position, okay? Now here we can clearly see the opening, so we're going to hit W, we're going to move it, and let's see if we can snap that, holding down V, and we're going to pull that up, a bit too high, okay? Now we need to scale this guy down a bit, so we're going to hit R, and let's scale it to about here, and maybe stretch it a little. Now the goal here is to go to modify center pivot. When I hit E to rotate, okay, it's just passing the opening, but not too much, so that's not bad, okay? We're going to put it back to 0, And now we can start to position it and model it a little bit. So we're going to hit W, we're going to move that in. And we don't want it to touch our object. We want it to have some free space there, like so. And let's tweak the surface. So right click face, take the surface or the face here, go to edit mesh, extrude, hit R. Actually, that's not what I want, sorry. Control Z to go back, we'll do it differently. Right click vertex, we're going to take these 4 vertices. And let's hit R. That looks messed up for some reason. Just bear with me, guys. Like I said, it's been a while, okay? We'll do it different. Object mode, right click edge. It's unbelievable. Just by not sitting behind the keyboard for a few weeks, you get this, okay? So we're going to hit W, we're going to pull that out. That's better. Okay. And then right click vertex. I'm going to change to this view here. So we can take all of these vertices and hopefully nothing else. We're going to hit R. I'm going to push that down. And we're going to push them in. That's not bad. Excuse me. Okay. And like I said, we don't want it to touch our object. So we're going to create a little cylinder as an axle, if you will. Again, we're going to hit E to rotate. 90 degrees. Let's position it in front of our turning knob and hold a V and try to snap it. Let's do this. We'll snap it there and now pull it down. I have to zoom in. Make sure it's kind of centered. We're going to hit R and we're going to scale it down just a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to hit 4 so we can see where it's at. We hit W to pull it out, and we don't want too much mesh overlap. So we're going to right click our vertex, take these. I'm going to hit 5 again so I can see what's going on. Push that out until it's just hitting that surface there. Okay, so that's our rotating knob. This is our coin insertion, if you will. And usually there's a little plate in there. So we'll take a, let's see what we're going to do. What we'll do is we'll take another polygon cylinder. I'm going to pull that up just a little. Hit E, rotate that to 90 degrees. We're going to move that in front of our coin opening. So hit W, move that over here. Hold down V to snap it. F to zoom in. R to scale down, and we're going to keep it roughly the same size. All right. And then W to pull it out so we can reach it better. We are going to cut off the top half. So right click face, take this section, hit delete. That should give us half like so. And now we need to close that gap on top. So right click edge, select that all the way around and go to mesh and fill hole. All right. Right click object mode. Let's move it in there. All right. That's okay. Cool. And just for decoration purposes, what we can do is take a polygon pipe, pull that out. Oh, that one's a bit big, but that's fine. We'll tweak that. We're going to hit E. We're going to rotate it to 90 degrees. We're going to go to poly pipe. Let's do 40 subdivisions. And let's bring the thickness down to 1.5. And let's see how that works out when we decide to scale it down. First, we're going to hit R, push it in, make it nice and thin. We're going to move over here again, W to move, grab it, and then hold down V to snap it to that guy, and then hit R again and scale that in. And that's just kind of a decoration piece. Now it's inside, so hit W, pull it out. I have to zoom in. And let's see. Okay. And looks like we can scale it in just slightly. So hit R and get rid of those ugly edges. Okay. So we got that. We got our coin piece. We got our rotation knob here. Now let's deal with our glass ball on top. Now the problem there is that this is not a spherical shape. Okay. It's kind of wide at the bottom and it's tapered on top a little bit. Okay. So let's see how we are going to deal with that. Take a polygon sphere. First, we're going to go to our top view. We're going to hit W to move it, and we're going to hold down V and try to snap it. Okay, and let's see how that worked out. Not perfect, so we'll take this guy. Where did my sphere go? Inside, probably. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Okay. Anyway, so we're going to select the individual elements. What's this down here? Yeah, it's our knob. Okay, and this guy. And we're going to go to Mesh and Combine. All right. We're going to take our sphere here. Let's give it some subdivision first. Do 40 by 40. Maybe that's a bit high. 30 by 30. Okay. And let's see if this is doing all right. Looks good. Okay. Now from this view, we can hit W. Oh, it's way down here. Have to zoom back in, bring it down, and obviously we're going to need to tweak this, okay? Now we want it to be slightly bigger than that, so we're going to hit R and we're going to scale it until the edge of the sphere touches the inner dimension. I'll hit 5 so you can see what I mean. We don't want to have an opening here, okay? So that should fit nicely in that shape here. And we're going to need to tweak this shape a little bit. And actually, we're going to need to stretch it as well. So we're going to start to slightly stretch it. And then from the top, we're going to need to bring that in. Before we do that, I'm going to cut off the bottom half. Let's see. Do I need to do that? Not necessarily. Well, yes, to be authentic, we need to do that. Okay, so that's everything from here down. We're just going to delete that, and then we're going to drag, select this section, and delete that as well. Right-click Object Mode and move that back in. Okay. Then we're going to move to this view, and let's see if we can approach that shape a little bit. Vertex. This may get ugly, so hopefully we'll be able to do this. We're going to hit R, and we're going to scale that in just a little. And I'm going to take this row, and we're just going to manually tweak that shape. So hit R every time, and just try to make a fluent curve. Okay, that's not too bad. And we're going to need to create a lid on top of this thing as well. Okay, so again, for that, we're going to take off a part of the top here. So we're going to right click, go to face, and let's do this. Okay, and delete that. All right, we're getting closer. Okay, so here we want to create that lid, but also we need to make sure that there's a screw on top so you can take that off, and we need to work in an opening for that. I'm going to just right click on this guy and I'm going to hit 3 to smooth it out. Looks a little bit better. Yeah, okay. And now let's work on the top here. For the top, we are going to, let's see what makes sense here. We are going to, yeah, okay, what we'll do is we'll take another cylinder, sorry, not cylinder, sphere, and we're going to do 30 by 30 as well. We're going to move it in front of our object so we have a scale reference, and we're going to move it until it is pretty much centered. Now keep in mind that our outer sphere is not a sphere anymore, not exactly anyway. So we're going to work with the top to use that as our lid, okay? This is not too bad. So we're going to right click face, so we're going to select all of this until we are here. And we're going to delete that, okay? And we're going to have a screw up here. So we're going to select this little section up here and hit delete as well. Okay, so we'll get this little thing here. Right click object mode, hit W. Let's move that in. From our top view, hit F to zoom in. Let's make sure that this is positioned correctly. So we're going to move it up. That looks fine. And then that looks fine as well. Okay. Now this is just a flat section, so we're going to extrude it to create some depth. But before we do that, right click object mode, go to face, select that top row, edit mesh, extrude, hit W and pull it up just slightly because we're going to extrude it again, okay? Right click object mode, select the whole thing, edit mesh, extrude once again, and drag on the thickness. That's maybe a bit much, so we'll bring that back a little. That's not too bad. Okay, so we got that. Okay, and maybe we'll raise this edge a little for decoration purposes. So we're going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool. We'll put one right there. Q on our keyboard. Right-click Face. Take that face row and Edit Mesh and Extrude once again. And just give that a little bit of elevation. Excuse me. Okay. Now for the top, we need to create a screw for the top and an axle going straight down because this is going to be glass, so you're going to see that, okay? So for the screw on top, what we'll do is we'll take yet again another sphere. We're going to go to our top view, F to zoom in so we can see where it's at, W to move, and V to snap. F to zoom in. Now it looks like my original object is not perfectly centered, but when I turn this to 30 by 30, we have the same subdivision, which will allow me to bring that up and to bring that over, and we're good. Excuse me. Got a bit of a cough going on here. All right. We're going to raise that up and we're going to cut a section off. So we're going to move to this view. Right click face, drag select until we're about, let's say here, hit delete. Okay. Right click object mode, select it, edit mesh, extrude under face. And again, give it a little bit of thickness. Okay. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to create a groove um, inside that screw. Okay. So take a polygon cube, drag that out, pull it up just a little. Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, and we're going to rotate by -90, like so. Select these two, right click object mode, select, come on, 1 and 2, there we go. We're going to go to mesh and combine, there we go. Modify center pivot. We're going to go to our top view, hit F to zoom in on our cross, if you will, W to move it, and V to snap it. F to zoom in. We should be able to snap that. There we go. Just hold V down. Okay. Now the tricky part now, when we lower this, is we don't want to cut the screw open too much. So we're going to hit R and we're going to scale this guy down quite a bit. Hit W, bring that down. F to zoom in. And we just want a very, very slight cross on top. Not more than that, okay? So we're going to select this, shift select this, go to Mesh, Boolean difference, and we just have that. No, that's not enough. Control Z, go back. We're going to push it down a bit more. This guy, shift like that guy, Mesh, where do you go? Boolean and difference. Still not enough. Why is that thing torturing me? Okay, we're gonna, oops. We're gonna push this down even further. That should work, I hope. Select that, mesh, Boolean, difference. Doesn't want to play ball. Now, I probably know why. And again, it's Boolean, so it's a headache, okay? We're gonna select this guy, we're gonna go to, where'd he go? Mesh and separate. Take this, delete it. Actually, we're not gonna delete it, we're just gonna move it. Move it over here, okay? We're gonna select this, shift like that. First move it down, too bad there. This guy, shift like that guy, mesh, Boolean difference. Okay, that worked better. Then we're gonna take this one, we're gonna bring that in, and we're gonna bring it down. And now is the tricky part because we want to have kind of the same distance, so we can check that here. Bring it down just a bit more. That looks right. Okay. So move it in a bit more. There we go. This guy, shift like that guy, mesh, Boolean, and difference. Okay, there's the cross that I was going for. Sorry that took a while, but I just wanted to look right. Okay. And now we need to lower this into position. Check it from this view. Let's see how that looks. All right, let's create our axle. We're going to take another polygon cylinder, keep it nice and thin. We'll do 30 subdivisions, and we'll go to our top view, F to zoom in on that guy, W to move, and hold down V and snap it. F to zoom in, As you can see, it's not snapped to the center just yet. And because we really don't have an exact one, it's a bit tricky, but we'll just do it this way. That one's fine, and that one's fine. Okay. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale it in because we want it to be nice and thin. That looks about right. And then from this view, we're going to bring that in. So we're going to hit W, we're going to bring that down, and I want it to start at the bottom of that screw, and I want the end, so right-click vertex, not on that guy. Come on, right-click object mode, just on that guy. Right-click vertex, come on. Right-click object mode. There we go, right-click those, and bring that down to here. Okay. All right, so what's left? We need the gumballs to come out. Okay, so let's see what we have to work with. Okay, let's do an opening here. So we're going to right click, we're going to go to face, and we're going to take these two faces, and we're going to hit delete. And hopefully I didn't select anything else. Okay, looks good. And then what we're going to do is we are going to, yes, we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool. Sorry, Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool. We'll add one right there. Q on our keyboard, right click face. We're going to select these two faces and go to Edit Mesh and Extrude. Hit W and pull that out to, yeah, that's about right. And then we're going to go back to Edit, Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Multiple. We'll do two. We'll do two here and two here. And then we're going to go back to the single one, if you will, and we'll do one right there. And hit Q on our keyboard. Okay. We're going to go to our top view. We're going to hit F to zoom in. Now, this knob is in the way somewhat, so we're going to right click at object mode. And we just combine that. So we're going to go to mesh and separate, which will allow us to take this, hit Control H to hide it. And now we can select this guy, right click vertex, and we're going to start to tweak the shape. Okay. So we're going to select these two, hit W, and we're going to start to bring that in. Okay. Then we're going to take these three, start to move that out, and maybe the one in the middle, not too much. That's about right. And I want two more edges to work with, so I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting, that's fine. We'll do one there and one there. Check it from my top view to make sure it's somewhat even, and hit Q on your keyboard. Okay. Then we're going to right click, go to face, and we're going to select these faces here. And we're going to go to Edit Mesh and Extrude under Face. Hit W and bring that up like that. Okay, maybe a bit more. All right. And now I'm going to try something. Right click Object Mode, select this guy, and hit 3 to smooth that out. Okay. A little bit of tweaking to do, but all in all, not too bad. Especially in this area here, which is typical. And that's actually not going to fly. And that's another problem with the Boolean function. It creates a lot of limitations, but that's okay. All right, so we got that. Now, next what we're going to do is we're going to create a little cover with a hinge so you can lift it up and take out the gumballs. Okay, now we're just going to give this a little bit more depth here. All right, so we're going to right click at a face and we're going to select 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's push that down just a little. And then we'll take 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. And let's push that down some more. Okay, so we got a little cup, if you will. Okay, now we need to create something to close that up, which is going to be a little bit tricky, but we're going to try to do it anyway. Okay, we're going to take a polygon cube. We're going to pull that up, and we're going to move it over that area. So let's move that in here. That's weird. Okay, we're going to hit R. We're going to start to scale that out, and I'm going to align that end. Right click vertex, select these two, hit W and align this end, and we'll right click, go to object mode, and I'll move the whole thing back a little to about there. Right click vertex, take these two, move it to the furthest point. Then we're going to go to mesh tools, insert edge loop tool, option box, multiple, and we'll do 5, and we'll add them right there. Close that. Right click vertex, select these two, hit W, bring them in, select these two, bring them in, and then we have a fairly decent copy of what we're looking for. Okay, we're going to go underneath, right click face. Let's take these faces and delete them. Look like I took one too many out. Control Z and delete. That's all right. Then we're going to take these on the inside and hit delete. All right. And we're going to right click, go to object mode. We're going to bring this down. And I kind of want to smooth this guy out, but it's going to deform the shape a little. So I'm going to give it a try. Hit 3. That's nice. Not bad. Okay. Not quite there yet. Let's move this whole thing in just a little. And let's extend the back here. So right click edge. And we're going to select the edge, only the top here. Okay. And we're going to bring that in until we're at the front there, like so. All right. And then we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Mesh Tools, insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting. And let's do one right there. Okay. I'm just going to right click and go to Object Mode and hit 1 so I can still see what I'm working on. Okay, that's my edge. And I'm going to right click, go to Face, take these, and go to Edit Mesh and Extrude Under Face. Hit W, pull that up, and you can see that it's slightly at an angle, which is fine and kind of cool. That would work. Okay, now I'm going to smooth it again. Right click Object Mode, hit 3, and you can see that at the top it needs a little work. So I want to go back, Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting. edge loop up here, Q on our keyboard, right click object mode and hit 3. Much, much better. Okay, that works for me. All right. We need to create a little hinge here because that's what is, what you should do on a thing like this. So we're going to take a polygon pipe. This is huge for some reason. I don't know why. We're going to set the subdivision to 30, the thickness to 1, and then we're going to scale this guy down. Hit R, scale it in a lot. Let's hit R, stretch it out a bit. And then we're going to hit E, and we're going to rotate that, flip it over, and flip it to 90 degrees. Let's see if we got a good angle to look at. Not really. We'll do it from this angle. Okay. We're going to W, we're going to bring it down. We're going to move it over to where we need to be. F to zoom in. R to scale it down even more. All right. And then we're going to Control D to duplicate. W to move over to one end. And Control D to move over to the other end. And let's just make sure that they're positioned okay. I got all of them right here. F to zoom in. We're going to bring them out a little, like this. Then we're going to select the whole deal. Okay, cool. And then we're going to take a very thin cylinder, hit E, rotate that to -90, and let's insert that into the hinges. W to move in. We're going to hit R, we're going to scale it down so it's nice and thin, and we're going to have it stick out at both ends just very, very slightly. Okay, let's move it towards our hinges. F to zoom in. Okay, we can give it a little bit more thickness, which means we'll have to bring the sides in. Oh, it's coming through our mesh a little bit. Okay, so we're going to scale it in like this. Hit R. Okay. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So that's that section. Then we can go to display, show, and all to get our knob back, like so. Now for the tricky part, first I'm going to select all of this stuff, and I'm going to go to Edit, Delete by Type, History, and modify Freeze Transformations. There we go. Now, what I'm going to attempt here, with the emphasis on attempt, is to add some gumballs. And maybe it's even better to first add some material so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to select this guy and shift select that guy. All right, and I'm going to right click, assign new material. I'm going to go with a blend. And we're going to change the color to apple red, which is kind of obvious, I would almost say. And we are going to increase reflectivity to, let's start with 1.5. Okay. Then we're going to take the glass, right click, assign new material, MIA material X. We're going to go to the material tab. I'm just thinking whether I should do this with a blend material or not. Yes, we will. because there are a lot of people that are struggling with mental ray and they can't find it and it's on the plugin manager and so forth. So we'll do the glass with the blend as well. So I'm going to select this material, right click, assign new material. We'll do a blend instead. Okay. And then we're going to go up to transparency and we're going to bump that up to 100%. And then we are going to increase reflectivity to 2%. And maybe we need to tweak that, maybe not, we'll see. I'm going to go in. Let's see, first we're going to do the outer elements. I'm going to take this guy, needs to come out a little bit, looks like, and this guy, and this guy, and the axle here, that's all good. And we will right click, assign new material, and I can't help myself. I'm going to use the Maya material. Sorry, I just like it so much. Maya material, presets, Chrome, and replace. And because I did that, now I have to explain where you can fix the problem of not having mental ray. Okay, so I'll quickly do that. So if you go up to your render settings, okay, and you do the drop down here, and it doesn't say mental ray, okay, what you do is you close that out, and you go to, let's see, it's been a while, Window, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, and you scroll down and you look for Maya II Mental Ray. Okay, let's see if I can find it quickly. Right here, Maya II Mental Ray.mml. Make sure you have loaded and autoload checked. Okay, if you don't, you're not going to see Mental Ray. All right, so we got that. Excuse me. Now we're going to take the rod in the middle, or the axis, and assign existing material, which is the MIA material 2. And we'll do the same for the screw on top. Right click, assign existing material and material 2. Okay, so it looks like we got most of it. For this section here, we're going to use, for this axle, we're going to use Chrome. So assign existing material MIA 2. And for this, we are going to use plastic material. Okay, right click, assign new material, a blend. Okay, and we're going to do something similar to the glass, except we're going to decrease reflectivity. So the transparency, we're going to increase that, not all the way, pretty close, but not all the way. Let's say something like this. Color, we're going to do something, let's see, we'll do something like this. Okay, and here in your little sample, you can see what's going on. And then for the reflectivity, we're not going to go to 1.5. Let's do 0.75, and we'll see in our render how that works out. Okay, so we got all that stuff. Now, like I said, now we're going to get into the tricky part, and I'm just going to try this. So if it doesn't work, we're going to go back to where we are right now, but I just want to give it a try. Okay, so I'm going to take all this stuff, and I'm going to move that way up and out of the way. Okay, I'm going to select this. I'm going to go to Mesh Combine, which I'll have to undo later because you can see that it's screwing up my model, but that's fine. We'll fix that later. And we're going to create a little gumball. So let's do a little sphere, and let's move that so we're sure that it's on top of our glass container, if you will. Pull that up, and looks like I'm over the top here. And then we're going to Control D to duplicate, and we're going to move that up. So that's 2 gumballs, and I'm going to do Shift D. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. We're going to add some color. So what I'll do is I'll select a few and we'll give them a typical gumball color. So right click, assign new material. Let's do a standard blend, it's fine. And we'll do yellow. We'll take a few that we will make green, blend, and well, we'll do, yeah, that's not bad. We'll do that green, fine. We'll do a few white, assign new material, blend, white. I don't know if they're blue gumballs, but they're red ones, I know that. Okay, so assign new material, blend, red. Okay, so we've got a few gumballs going on here. Okay, now again, I'm not 100% sure it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. Okay, so we're going to select this stuff. We're going to go to our dynamics menu. Okay, we're going to go to soft rigid bodies, and for my gumball machine, I'm going to select create passive rigid body. Okay, then I'm going to select my gumballs, and I'm going to go to create active rigid body. Right, and with these selected, I'm going to go to where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Fields, gravity. Okay, I'm going to set up, let's say, 200 frames and just see if this is going to work or not. I'm going to hit play. The gumballs are falling down. It looks like they're responding. And I hope to God that my system isn't going to crash. He's thinking about it. Okay. Looks like they're crashing into each other. I'm just going to give that one more go. Let's see if I can fix that. What I can do here is just take a few of these and move them just a little, and then take a couple of these guys and move them a little so they're not exactly stacked. Okay, hopefully that doesn't change anything. We'll see. That's starting to look much better. We still got one problem, so we'll do it once again. Hopefully it will play out this time. It's so funny that sometimes it runs and sometimes it doesn't. So hit escape once again. And if I can't get that to work, I'll tweak it manually, but there's still a few things I can do. Um, First of all, let's bring that stuff down a bit. And let's give that another go, okay? So let's hit play. And don't freeze this time, please. Keep on going, keep on going. Let's see if we can get away with that. Okay, not too bad. I will need to tweak it a little bit, but it's better than nothing, right? So what we're gonna do is we have this guy selected. We're gonna first select all of that and go to modify, and where do you go? Sorry, edit, delete by type, history. So we shouldn't have a problem. We're gonna select this object. We're gonna go to our polygon menu and mesh and separate. Okay, and then we'll take this guy and hit Control H, and then we're going to manually tweak some gumballs. Okay, so let's bring that down, and okay, what I'll do, guys, I'll just quickly pause the video while I do that because this is kind of a boring process. See you guys in a sec. Okay, guys. Well, that's the best I can do for now. But if you get your system under control with the dynamics, you can pretty much fill that thing up, right? I don't want to spend too much time on that right now, just for a gimmick, kind of thing. Okay, so we're going to go to display, show all to get our glass back. We're going to take this whole section here. We're going to bring that down until it's back inside our gumball machine. Make sure that the top is still the top. Okay. Then let's check our elements here. Let's see what happens if we smooth that guy. It's too square, so I'm going to select it. I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, enter Edge Loop tool, and we're going to add some quick edges here just to maintain that shape. That should already be better. Right-click Object Mode. Oops. Hit Q first, sorry. Right-click Object Mode. Hit 3. Yeah, that looks much better. All right. Okay, so now that we got all that, let's give this a go. We're going to render this. So I'm just going to select the whole thing. Edit, delete by type, history, modify, freeze transformations. Okay, that was already done. Fine. Ground plane. Let's set that underneath our gumball machine. There we go. I'm going to hit 5 so I can see it a bit better. There we go. We're going to right click assign new material. Let's do a Fong E. Let's make that white. And we're going to hit R and we're going to scale it out nice and big. We're going to create lights, point light. Hit W, bring that up. Hit 7 on our keyboard so we can see what's going on. All right. Let's pull that out here. Okay. Let's check a render angle for this. We're going to set up our resolution gate. Where'd he go? Right there. So that would be about it. Let's see what else we are going to. I'm not going to give up on smoothing this guy out. Let's see what we can do there. The only thing that's messing up is this area here. That's too bad. I can't go back in and tweak all that right now. It will take too long. So we'll have to do it without the smooth. Maybe another time. Okay. So this is it. We'll add some image-based lighting. So I'm going to go to mental ray, indirect lighting. I'm going to set up global illumination and final gathering. I'm going to increase my quality to about 1.5. Let's see, my common tab, I'm going to set the image size to HD 1080. There we go. Let's see, and create image-based lighting. There we go. I'm going to find a nice file to use. So in my documents, I got HDRI folder, and you can download these for free. You can check out hdrlabs.com, where you can get a lot of free HDRI images. Let's see what we got. I'll just check one of these, see how that one looks. It's not too bad. We'll give it a try. Okay. So I'm going to do a quick render pass, pause the video, see you guys when it's done, and let's see if we need to tweak anything. Okay, see you guys in a sec. Well, guys, and as expected, there are a few things I want to change. Okay, so I'm going to first of all pick another HDRI file because I didn't find this one to be very happy, if you will. Okay, so that. Secondly, I want to have these faces here in Chrome. So I'm going to take these, okay, and then I'll take this side here, this side here, and these two elements. And let's see, the bottom section, we'll leave that. Right click, assign new material, MIA_X, material tab, presets, Chrome, replace. So that's Chrome now. I want to create a little rubber section down here where it sits on the table, if you will. Let's see if my plane isn't too high up. Not so much, so that's fine. So I'm going to go to Mesh Tools, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, Single Setting. That's okay. And that's not what I want. I want one there. Okay. I'm going to hit Q on my keyboard, right-click Face, and I'm going to select that all the way around, and then right-click Assign New Material, MIA Material, Presets, Rubber, Replace, and Black. That's fine. So that should give it a little bit more, I don't know what to call it, oomph, if you will. Okay, and then this guy, right-click Object Mode, hit 3 to smooth that out. That's fine. And I think we are ready to go. All right. Okay, so let's position it for a render. Maybe tilt it a little bit. There we go. Okay, that should be it. Okay, here we go for hopefully our final render. I'll pause the video and see you guys in a sec. All right, guys, and there you have it. There's our Gumball machine. And you know, you can tweak it and add some detail to it, but this is the basic method of doing it. So that's it for this tutorial. Before we close off, just a little comment. I get quite a few requests, actually a tremendous amount of requests. I got a list of, I think, close to 200 right now. And I'm doing my very, very best to help everybody, but it's just simply impossible because, you know, it would be more than a full-time job. But that said, I will keep on doing my best to help everyone. It's just going to take some time, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I'd love to see you guys again, and see you guys next time.